Hi, my little babies. Welcome back to another episode of What the Smut Book Review. Book Reviews. Thank you for joining me for another episode. I really appreciate it. Hi, my name is Candace and I'm your host. If you're new here, hi, how are you? Thank you for joining me. If you're not new here, thank you for joining me again. I really appreciate you. In today's video, we will be reviewing a chunky boy of a book. This book is honestly quite larger than I expected it to be when I purchased it. I didn't look at the page count, which we know that Amazon lies about the page count. We know. But usually they're not off by more than like 10, 15 pages. Sometimes 20 pages if they're really fucked up. But not by a whole lot, right? But I didn't look at the page count. I just ordered the book because I was obsessed. And then when I got the book, I was like, good damn. You a thick boy. It is. In today's video, kids, we will be reviewing this book. It is Dark Notes by author Pam Godwin. This is my first Pam Godwin novel. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Candace, good. Why did it take so long? I don't. Do you ever have this? I'm gonna get super personal right now for a second. Do you ever have a thing where you have a personal relationship with someone and they have like a favorite author or an author they obsess over, and then that relationship turns sour and it ends up turning you off of that author for no fucking reason? The author hasn't done anything to you. You've never even tried any of the author's books, so you can't say the author's bad. You don't even have the gratification or like the satisfaction of going, well, you fuck off, you and the author you wrote in on. Right? You can't even say that because you've never tried the author. You don't know. But you just steer clear of that author because that person has tainted those books for you. Has that ever happened to you? That happened to me with this author. I won't say who, but it doesn't take a lot of power of deduction to figure out who it is. Anyway, moving on. So it took me a long time to want to read Pam because of that. Nothing against you, Pam. I'm sorry. I apologize because TBH, if the rest of your books are like this one, insert DJ Khaled meme. I played myself. You played yourself. Because I really enjoyed this book. For the reasons that I'm getting ready to get into. But first, let's go into the details of the book, shall we? I'm going to give you some prices, and then we'll read the blurb, and then we'll break down what actually happened in this book. But for reference, let's just look at how thick this book is. I'm not saying it's like Hunting Adeline thick, because that's next level thick, but this is like, I got a fat face. And this is like at least a third of my face, right? Also, this cover is really just stunning to look at. Have you also seen some of the alt covers and special edition covers for this book? God, if I had unlimited amounts of money. Do you know what I would do? We can't get into it. Anyway, these books, and for this book, and I believe most of Pam's books, unfortunately, are not free to read with KU. I know most of the books that I review are free to read with KU. I do that for you kiddos, because I know that we love a good KU read, because a lot of us have KU. And a lot of indie authors publish in KU, and they're like finds that you don't find every day, but they're really good authors, really good writers that just don't get the publicity that they deserve, right? Pam, I don't know how much publicity she gets, because again, this is my first Pam Godwin read, but she is not in KU. So if you want to purchase this book for your Kindle, you will have to do it for the price of $5.99, which is still a pretty decent price for a Kindle book. Because typically I have found that authors that don't publish through KU, their Kindle books can be about the same price as a paperback, like a mass market paperback, which is like $7.99, $8.99. So $5.99, not bad, especially for a book that's like this chunky. If you want this beautiful trade paperback that I'm holding in my hand, that is, as I said, the size of a fucking encyclopedia, you can get it for $17.99. That is a very decent price for a trade paperback of this size. If you want this book in hardcover, it is available in hardcover printed by Amazon. No dust jacket. No dust jacket. The image is printed on the cover. No dust jacket. I reiterate. You can get it for the price of $26.99 right now on Amazon, okay? This book is also available in audio. I listened to it on audio. The audio is very well done. It's duly narrated, male and female narrators. Neither one has off-putting tones of voice. They're both good. I like them both. The male narrator, I don't remember his name. Don't ask me the names. I don't ever remember the names. Unless it's like a standout narrator that I've listened to a bunch of times and I know their name, I never remember the names. But I will tell you the male narrator sounded hot as fuck. So take that with you. Go with God. Anyways, okay. So, oh my God, I didn't do it. I didn't write down how many pages Amazon said was in this book. Oh, Candace. Wait, hold on a second. I'm going to drop this really quick. Ready? Just scared the fuck out of my rabbit. Poor Freckles. Sorry, Freckles. Let's just, okay, Pam Godwin. Dark notes. Because you know we have to do it in every video. I have to know. What is this earn points thing on Amazon now? You buy books, you earn points. What am I earning points towards? Free books? If it's free books, then I'm down. But if you're giving me points for other dumb shit, I don't want that. Why are you signing me up for something that I didn't ask for? Go fuck yourself. Apparently if I buy this book in trade, which I already did before they started this point system, I could have gotten 36 points. Okay. All right. According to Amazon, the trade paperback for this book has 491 pages. All right. Not gonna lie. This looks like it has more than 491 pages. Let's see. Ooh! 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 I've been scrimped. 484 pages. I was cheated. I was cheated out of 7 pages of book. I was cheated. Okay, we're going to read the blurb and then we're going to break it down. But we're going to break it down quick because I don't have a lot of time because I have to do 3 of these today. Because I'm a procrastinator and I'm behind. And if I don't purge some of this information from my brain, I can't take in any new information because my brain is literally at capacity. And you guys know that my brain doesn't remember shit for shit. So the dumpster fire that it is already, and then you add in that it's currently holding 5 book plots? No. So we got to get rid of some. Let's go, shall we? All right, here we go. Okay, let's read the blurb, and then we're gonna break it down. They call me a slut. Maybe I am. Sometimes I do things I despise. Sometimes men take without asking. But I have a musical gift. Only a year left of high school and a plan, with one obstacle. Emmerich Marceau doesn't just take. He seizes my willpower and bangs it like a dark note. When he commands me to play, I want to give him everything. I kneel for his punishments, tremble for his touch, and risk it all for our stolen moments. He's my obsession, my master, my music, and my teacher. Okay, all right. Yes, you guessed correctly, kids. This book is a student-teacher taboo romance. There is a 10-year age gap between the two main characters. However, the age gap element is not stressed upon heavily in this book. So it's like not at the forefront of your mind when you read it, like how you would have like an actual age gap as the main trope of the book. It's not, but it is there. So she is 17 on the cusp of 18. So before you guys start going all ham, you idiots in the comments or out there in contemporary romance land, before you guys start going ham about like age of consent bullshit, age of consent in almost every state and country is 17. So shut up. I don't want to hear it. Okay. Also, I repeat, taboo. So if this is not your thing, turn off right now, because if I hear any stupidity in my comments, which I don't think I will, because I get like 12 views a video. I'm pretty sure the 12 views that I'm getting are people who watch me every week and they know how depraved I am and are equally as depraved. And so I don't think I'm gonna get any negativity, but just in case, if you're not here for this, fuck off. Okay, so Ivory and Emmerich are the two main characters for this book. Ivory is 17 on the cusp of 18. Emmerich is 27. I want to just go ahead and make a blanket statement that this review and the book itself has trigger warnings. Read your triggers before entering this book, because there are heavy elements of sexual assault. I was gonna say it's not graphically stated, but it is. So yes, if you have issues with the sexual assault trigger, enter with caution. Okay. But I will not stress upon it greatly during my review. I'm just going to touch upon it briefly, but it is there. So just be aware of that. Okay. Okay. Like I said, the two main characters are Ivory and Emmerich. I gotta take a breath because I'm giving myself asthma. I get so hyped when there's like a book that I really enjoyed. I get so hyped that I start talking really fast. And then I end up giving myself asthma, anxiety, and a headache. Keep in mind, I keep head pain all the time. So it just exacerbates that head pain. And then by the time I'm finished with these reviews, I walk out and I can feel my heartbeat in my brain. It's like, it's not cool, bro. Hence why I procrastinate doing these videos for so long. Anyway, let's just dive in. So, Ivory is a piano, what is the word? Prodigy? Yeah. She's a piano prodigy. The book is set in New Orleans. She is dirt ass poor. She comes from a family that has always been dirt ass poor. Her father passed away. Her mother is an extremely absentee, and when she is around, alky drunky parent. blames her daughter for everything that happened. Like everything bad that's ever happened to her since her husband's death, blames it on Ivory. Ivory also has an older brother who physically abuses her. So that is also a trigger to look out for in this book, is like the domestic violence trigger. Her brother's best friend from the Army, I can't remember if it was Army, Marines, I can't remember. Anyway, sexually assaults her on a regular basis. She has told her brother that he does this. Her brother doesn't believe her. She is routinely taken advantage of by men in power, whether it be physical power who can just physically overpower her, or whether it be in a position of power in terms of money or status, whatever the case may be. She is routinely taken advantage of by these men, boys even her own age. She's accepted it as her lot in life, and she does her best to try and use it to her advantage. She's basically biding her time until she can get out from under her family and out from this life that she lives in poverty. And her ticket to getting out of this life is a scholarship to a musical college, like a music school in, I believe it's New York. So there is it's like an arts academy, a very prestigious private school in New Orleans, high school, that she attends. Her father, prior to his death, sold his bar in order to pay her 4 years of tuition to go to this school, because he believed that she had such talent that he wanted her to live her dreams of being a concert pianist. And this is why her mother and brother harbor such resentment towards her. She's on her last year of high school. In order to get a scholarship to this musical college in New York, she has to have the recommendation. First, she has to have the grades, obviously, but she also has to have the recommendation of her piano teacher, which just so happens to have changed from the teacher she had the first 3 years. Now she has a new teacher for the 4th year, who happens to be this new guy, Emmerich Marceau. Emmerich Marceau has come onto the scene to teach at this private academy. What the fuck is the name of the academy? Lemoyne Academy of Performing Arts. He has come to teach at this academy under the supervision of the dean, whose own son is also vying for a position for that scholarship to that same school. The school only chooses one student from Lemoyne every year. So now you see we have a problem because if the school only chooses one student and he can only recommend one student, he has to choose between the dean's son or the girl from the piss poor family, but who has the raw talent to get into the school and is clearly the better choice. Now, normally he would say, well, I'm going to go with the girl because, the dean can't fire me if I choose the wrong person. I'll just sue her. No, okay, well, the dean is holding something over his head. He has come to this part of New Orleans with his tail tucked between his legs, hiding out from a scandal where he used to be the head of another school in Shreveport. And he was caught having sex, very kinky, very filthy, dirty sex, in a classroom with another teacher. And he was caught having sex with her on the campus, and it caused a huge scandal. Emmerich is a very dominant male, and he is into a lot of kinky sexual stuff. He likes to tie people up. He likes to use his belt in sex play, which is what he was doing in particular when he got caught fucking this other teacher. Now, when he got caught, obviously the sex was consensual, but from the looks of it, it appeared as if he had her tied up against her will. When questioned, she had to choose between admitting that they were having an affair, because this academy had very strict rules against faculty fraternization, and losing her job or keeping her job, possibly even getting promoted, which she eventually did, by the way, to his job, and saying that he raped her, which she did. So she chose option B, fuck their relationship, which they had been going on for 4 years and were living together outside of the whatever, the school, and keeping their relationship hidden. And so he has come to this new job on the promise of, I'll give you this position by the dean. I'll give you this position here because you can't get a job anywhere else. If you use your connections at the New York Academy, where his mother happens to be on the board of directors, you use your position there to get your mother to push through the application for my son and get him into that spot. So now herein lies the crux of the issue. So Ivory has a reputation at school. Everyone thinks that she sleeps around a lot, which, to be fair, she does have sex with quite a few of the guys on campus. But a lot of the times it's not consensual sex. It's sex that's forced upon her, or sexual favors that are forced upon her, because she has like a racket going where she's basically doing the homework of every like upper crust male student in their graduating class. And that's how she's earning the money to pay the bills in her household. Her mother and brother don't do shit. They don't pay shit. She pays for everything. She keeps the lights on, she pays the rent, she buys food, everything. And this is how she does it. But in order for her to get the money, they will not just trade the assignments for the cash. They want a little something extra from her. And she knows that, and they know that because she's in such dire straits, that they can get it out of her. And they do. And so they take advantage of her. And because of that, she's garnered the reputation on campus as being a slut who just gives it up to everyone. The girls taunt her. she's a pariah. It is what it is. So this new teacher starts, and he sees the way that she's treated. And at first he's very hard on her because he doesn't like the fact that she appears to be lusted after by every boy on campus. And she's a distraction. And he doesn't like that, even though he's attracted to her. So at first he's very tough on her. Then when he starts to do his own investigating and realizes her living situation and realizes that she's doing the homework for other students and how she gets her money. Because at first he thinks that she's sleeping around for her money and basically prostituting herself, which makes him angry. But then when he finds out what she's actually doing, to some extent, he becomes more her protector than anything else. But he continues to groom her, even though he knows that he's harboring this secret, that he can't advance her to the position that she wants to be in because of his obligation to the dean. He continues to groom her for that position. And while they do that, they become very close. At first he tries to fight it. And in the very, very beginning, she is very wary of him. Because every interaction that she's ever had with a man has been all take and no give. Every interaction has been very one-sided and very forced. So she is automatically suspect. Every man is automatically suspect, I mean. So anytime he would get even remotely close, her warning bells go off. What are you doing? Why are you near me? What's happening? What do you want from me? Every man wants something from me. Like, what are you looking to get out of me? That kind of thing. So the more time they spend together, the more he finds out about her, and the more he gets to know her and her situation. And the more time that she spends with him, the closer they become. The more sexually entangled they become. And at first, he does try and fight it because he does not want to be embroiled in another scandal. But he finds himself becoming attached to her emotionally. And he, even to the point that he tells his parents about her. And he knows that even though she has by this time turned 18 and she's legal, like they're legally able to be together, him being her teacher, that dynamic is still illegal. So unless he were to quit his job, they would not be able to be together. Or unless they were to keep it secret until she graduates, then they would be able to be together. But there's still the issue of after she graduates, what's going to happen? He knows that he can't recommend 2 students to Leopold, the New York college. They won't take 2 applications. It would become too suspect for his mother to push through 2 applications. So he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. At one point, shortly after he realizes how it is that she's earning her money, he becomes enraged. And he essentially forces her to move in with him. He gets her out of the situation, her current living situation. He can't stand the idea of her living in that trailer with her mother and her brother, and the possibility of her brother's friend popping in anytime he wants and possibly sexually assaulting her. So he literally plucks her from that situation and tells her, "You're not going back to that house. You're staying with me." And she does. She moves in with him. He buys her a car. They leave at the same time in the morning to go to school, but they arrive at different times, and they show up differently, and they put on this whole charade, this essentially the same thing he was doing with his ex-girlfriend Joanne, the other teacher, but now he's doing it with a student. And they're having to keep it secret until she graduates, because he wants to be with her now. He's realized, my feelings are involved and I want to be with her. And by this time, he's developing a plan where he's already decided that at the end of the year, he's going to quit the job. He's going to recommend her for the scholarship, and he's going to quit. He's going to quit his job and find another position somewhere else. And then he will move to New York to be with her while she attends Leopold, because he believes in the amount of talent that she has. And towards the end of the book, he surprises her by taking her on a trip to New York and to a surprise interview, which he has pulled strings to call the I don't know what you would call them, but the people who interviewed the students. He has called them in on like the weekend to come to the auditorium to watch her play. And, she's like, why are we here? And he says, "It's your interview for college." And when she realizes what he's doing, she gets up on stage and she starts to play. And the song that she chooses is, he recognizes it immediately. It's not a classical song. It's not a song that you would choose if you were trying to impress a panel of judges, if you were trying to get into a prestigious school. It's not the type of song that you would use. She chooses essentially the melody to a breakup song. And at first he's terrified, because he thinks, is this a message to me? Is she breaking up with me? And then towards the end, he realizes, no, she's not. She's saying goodbye to the school, to her dream of going to Leopold. And when they leave, she tells him, I don't want to, I've changed my mind. I don't want to be away from you. I don't want to go to this school. It was her father's dream that she go to that school. And so she thought it was her dream too. But she's come to the realization that she wants to be taught by the best, and he is the best. And so she wants him to teach her how to play. After the trip to New York, they get back to New Orleans. And they go back to school. And he gets called into the dean's office. The dean has a video of a camera, not a camera like a security camera, but a camera like a phone camera, where someone had recorded them in the auditorium of essentially her giving him a blowjob. He's 2-0. He done fucked up, bro. He's livid. She basically says that she has already expelled Ivory and sent her home. And he flips out. During the later part of the book, he's had like a private eye, a PI, on his payroll, digging up dirt on the dean from the time that he decided that he was going to have Ivory take the spot at Leopold instead of this bitch's son. He has had a PI digging into her to find something he could use to blackmail her with. The PI found something. So when she produces this video and she says Ivory's expelled, because this entire time she's been trying to get Ivory out anyway, because Ivory's the biggest threat to her son, obviously. When she says that, he's like, no, she's not. She's not expelled. He picks up the phone, calls Ivory in front of her, and she's boiling with rage at this point. Calls Ivory on the phone. Ivory's obviously in tears. He says, where are you? And she says, I'm in the parking lot. I just got expelled. And he says, don't worry, you're not expelled. Come back to the headmistress's office. And she's like, are you sure? He's like, yeah. Okay. She comes back in. And he tells her, you're not expelled. Don't worry. And he looks at the dean, and then he produces a video of his own of her husband fucking someone else. This one is all about status and her position within the community and her reputation. And obviously she can't have this video leaking to anyone. And so she knows she's fucked. He resigns his position anyway because he wants to be with Ivory without any type of legal entanglement involved. So he resigns his position, and then now that he knows that Ivory's not taking the scholarship anyway, he's not getting her piece of shit son in, and he doesn't have to worry about having to push Ivory's application through. And Ivory can just finish out her semester, graduate. Bada bing, bada boom. Done. The headmistress is, her head all nearly pops off, but she knows she's stuck. She's fucked. So that's essentially that. Shortly after he walks out, like the next chapter, he takes her into, I think it's the French Quarter, or somewhere like that. There's an area where he takes her to a property that he's bought. And it turns out to be a bar that he's purchased for the two of them, that he plans to turn into a piano bar, like the one that her dad used to own. And there's an epilogue after that where the two of them are playing back-to-back pianos to a packed house in their own piano bar. And they lived happily ever after. Now there's a little kerfuffle. mixed in somewhere towards the end that involves the guy Lorenzo, the brother's best friend, and the brother trying to break into his house and rob him, not knowing that Ivory's living there. And Lorenzo tries to attack her, and they end up killing him. And then the brother, who finally believes that his sister was telling the truth the entire time about his best friend raping her, in his remorse, helps Emmerich get rid of the body and then leaves town for good. So I forgot to mention that part, but that's in there too. So yeah, the end. For the rating for the book, I would give it like a 9.25. Yeah, I would. I love this book. It was amazing. I liked it a lot. I love the student-teacher taboo. I love that trope. Student-teacher, age gap, like those are my jams. Dad's best friend. Those are my jams. So yeah, it was phenomenal. I like the way Pam writes. I do enjoy her writing. I think she's a really good writer. I will definitely be giving some of her other books a shot, and I'll read some of her other catalog. But yeah, I would definitely recommend this book to other people. If you're not easily triggered by sexual assault or domestic violence, I would highly recommend this book to you. If you like dark romance, if you like the student-teacher trope, bro, so good. Okay, but yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it. There was one point. I think I knew this book was going to be a winner for me when there was one point where one of them sat down at the piano to play, and they played Death Cab for Cuties, I'll Follow You into the Dark. And in that moment, I knew I would like this book because I fucking love that song. I can't listen to that song without crying. I have a playlist on Spotify, on my Spotify, that is literally named, "Oh, so you want to cry today?" And it's full of songs that I deliberately put on there because every single song will make me cry. And so whenever I feel the need for a good cathartic cry, I will put that playlist on because I know every single song will make me bawl like a fucking baby. That song is on that playlist. So when they sat down to play that song, I was like, you got me. Pam, you bitch, you got me. You got me, bitch. So yeah. So yes, I would definitely recommend this book to other people. I enjoyed it immensely. And I think that's it, kiddos. I really thank you guys for watching another video and sticking with me for another hour. And I didn't even literally give you every single plot point. I gave you an overview. How? How did I talk for an hour? It's a gift. I know, it's a gift. If you enjoyed this video, if you like me and you like my channel, please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. If you would like, you can follow me on social media. I will list them all in the description box below, and I'll put a little banner here on the screen for you guys to see. If you're interested in checking out some of my bookish merch, you can find it at on my Teespring shop, and I will link that in the description box as well. I haven't made a little graphic for that for the screen yet, but at some point I'll do that later. when I remember and have time. But yeah, I thank you guys so much for watching, and I love you so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Dun, 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 na, 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 na. Halloween is over. That means it's Christmas time. Ha 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 ha. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. I know. And I'm like more burgundy now. Don't worry, it won't last. One wash and half of this will be gone. Don't ask me why. Reds don't stay. It's why my hair looks so fried all the time. It's because I'm constantly having to dye it because the reds won't stay. Anyways, hi, it's me, Candace, again. We're gonna jump straight into it because I'm gonna try and keep this so short, it's ridiculous. And the reason that I'm doing that is because this book is humongous. It's a thick boy, okay? That's what she said. But it is. Let's get into it, shall we? I'm gonna take a little sip of tea to wet my whistle. And then we're gonna, okay. Okay. Here we go. I'm excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And I just can't hide it. I have no tone. Like, I have no, what is that called? Rhythm? Rhythm. I have no rhythm. I don't have any of the things. Let's just do a blanket statement. I have none of the things. Okay, here we go. Ready?
I'm hungry.
You just ate lunch.
Can I get a fruit cup?
Charlotte, I'm in the middle of recording a video.
I want a fruit cup.
Fine, I'll give you a fruit cup. All right, let's do it. Hurry up. No, leave my book alone. Hurry up. Come on, go. Go, go, go. Okay. Did I forget anything crazy? Did I forget anything super importante? Bye. Bye, BBs. Goodbye, my BBs.